If you're turning from side to side, pull your blanket a little closer to your chest. Inhale softly, and exhale slower than you think you should. Tonight we follow a creature no longer than your finger, yet brave enough to walk across the quiet walls of your room. The gecko. It doesn't roar, doesn't screech, just a tiny click each time its velvet soft feet touch the surface. The gecko moves as if it's measuring the heartbeat of the night itself. Place your phone gently beside your pillow, lower the volume, and let those tiny feet guide you into a sleep as light as mist. On the kitchen wall or under the warm ridge of a roof in the rainforest, a small moving shadow appears, light, steady, and unhurried. The gecko does not announce itself. It pauses for a few seconds, blinks its glossy round eyes, and then continues its silent patrol as if inspecting a freshly cleaned floor. With more than 1,800 species spread across every kind of landscape, deserts, forests, city homes, bamboo huts, and stone temples, the gecko is everywhere and nowhere at once. Despite its tiny size, it carries the presence of a quiet night guard. Its movements are patient, deliberate, almost meditative. Unlike many restless nocturnal animals, the gecko treats darkness as its natural language. It blends effortlessly into corners, observing insects, watching shifts in the air, and waiting for the world to soften. To see a gecko is to glimpse the gentlest side of nighttime nature. It does not chase chaos. It listens, watches, and moves only when needed. And tonight, as you lie beneath your blanket, you walk with it, step by step, into the softest parts of the night, where shadows breathe and everything slows down. Geckos choose homes the way people choose pillows, by comfort, warmth, and safety. They favour quiet corners, behind curtains, inside wooden cracks, beneath rooftop tiles, or on the cool bark of tall trees. They avoid strong winds, loud echoes, and sudden movements. To them, the best place is the place no one notices. A gecko lies flat against a surface, its small belly pressing gently into the wall. It breathes softly, barely visible unless you look closely. Its eyes never close, yet it seems calm, almost serene, as if listening to the temperature of the room. Its nightly territory is small, just a few square meters, but to a gecko that space is home, familiar and safe. It knows every corner, every beam, every warm patch where it can rest. Much like the blanket draped over your shoulders right now. This small territory provides a sense of belonging. When night settles in, the gecko resumes its slow wander. It checks the edges of walls, pauses under dim lights, and moves with a confidence born from knowing exactly where it belongs. In its quiet way, the gecko reminds us that even the smallest spaces can feel like a whole world when they are warm, gentle, and ours. What makes the gecko feel almost magical is not its eyes or its soft body, but its feet. Tiny, intricate, and astonishingly strong. Each toe is covered with millions of microscopic hairs called setae, so small they interact with the molecular structure of the surface beneath them. This is why a gecko can sprint upside down across your ceiling without slipping, climb smooth glass as if it were rough stone, and pause mid-wall without making a sound. To the gecko, gravity is just a suggestion. Every step it takes is a whisper, light, precise, and intentional. When it lifts a foot, it seems to peel away from the wall like a gentle breath leaving a mirror. When it presses down, it clings with a quiet certainty, as though it knows the night will always hold it. Watching a gecko move is like watching a secret unfold. Soft, patient, and almost impossible by human standards. Its steps remind us that strength does not need to clamour for attention. Sometimes the quietest grip is the most powerful. A lesson hidden in the small feet of a creature walking calmly through the dark. A gecko's body is tiny, often just a few centimetres long, but every part of it is tuned for survival. Its heart beats quickly and rhythmically, steady like the ticking of an old clock in a quiet room. Its skin is soft to the touch, cool and flexible, patterned with spots and shades that mimic sand, bark, or dried leaves. Nature has painted it in tones meant not to stand out but to blend in. A delicate form shaped for invisibility. When the gecko stands still, it vanishes into its surroundings. It becomes a flake of bark on a tree, a speck of dust on a wall, a shadow hidden in another shadow. But once it moves, it glides like a drop of water sliding down a smooth surface. graceful, fluid, and effortless. This gentle creature may look fragile, but it survives in deserts, jungles, houses, and rooftops, balancing danger and safety every night. Its body is small enough to hide, but strong enough to endure. That balance between vulnerability and resilience is what makes the gecko so quietly remarkable. It shows that size does not measure strength. Even the smallest heartbeat can echo through the calmest parts of the night. Dinner for a gecko is a simple, quiet affair. It does not chase prey with frantic energy or violent leaps. Instead, it watches. It waits. Perched on a wall or a tree trunk, the gecko lets the night bring food to it. A wandering mosquito, a drifting termite, or a small moth swaying under a warm yellow light. The gecko stills its breath, its tiny chest frozen for a moment. Its pupils widen. Its feet grip the surface with delicate precision. Then, click. Its tongue darts out, swift as a flicker of lightning. Just one clean motion, no struggle, no sound of distress. The insect simply disappears, and the gecko resumes its calm stance as if nothing happened. This gentle way of feeding suits the gecko's nature. It doesn't need chaos or speed to survive. It thrives by being patient, observant, and perfectly timed. Watching it hunt feels almost like watching someone quietly turn off a bedside lamp. A soft gesture, tidy and peaceful. In a world full of loud predators, the gecko hunts with grace, reminding us that even in the instinctive cycle of life, calm can be powerful. Despite its agility, the gecko lives under constant silent threats. Cats on nighttime patrol, slender snakes weaving through cracks, larger lizards defending territory, all could end its journey in a heartbeat. But the gecko has evolved with a remarkable escape trick. When danger closes in, it can detach its tail, letting it fall to the ground and wriggle like a living decoy. That wriggling tail buys precious seconds. While predators focus on the distraction, the gecko slips into darkness, breathing fast but alive. It finds a hidden corner, behind a tile, under a leaf, beneath a beam, and waits until its heartbeat slows again. Losing a tail is no small sacrifice, but for the gecko, survival is worth the price. In time, a new tail will grow, shorter and simpler, yet functional. Each escape leaves a quiet mark on its life, much like the way we pull our blankets closer after a frightening dream, grateful to still be here. The gecko's calm return to its nightly route after danger passes shows a deep resilience. It doesn't boast. It doesn't look back. It simply breathes, steadies itself, and continues, step by gentle step, into the softness of the night. Motherhood for a gecko is quiet and understated. There is no large nest, no constant guarding, no dramatic display of protection. Instead, a gecko mother chooses her space with extraordinary care. A warm crack in a wall, a dry nook beneath a roof tile, a sheltered hollow in a tree. She lays 2 small pearl-white eggs, round and smooth like tiny beads of moonlight. She does not sit on them, yet her choice of location is an act of devotion. By placing them where warmth lingers and danger rarely reaches, she gives her young the safest possible beginning. Days pass, nights slide by, and when the eggs finally open, 2 miniature geckos emerge, fragile, wide-eyed, their skin still soft, their steps unsure, but instinct leads them almost immediately. Within hours they cling to surfaces, exploring their little world with trembling but determined feet. There is no mother watching over them, yet her presence remains in the safe space she chose, a silent blessing left in the walls of their home. Their first steps mirror the quiet strength of all geckos, small, hesitant, yet full of life. It is a gentle reminder that even the tiniest beginnings can carry an entire universe of courage. Unlike most reptiles, geckos have a voice, soft, high, and surprisingly expressive. Their calls float through the night as little tick-tick or cook-cook, like tiny messages carried on the wind. These sounds are not warnings of danger or shouts of aggression. Instead, they are simple signals. I am here. I am safe. Where are you? In the quiet of evening, these calls blend with the rustle of leaves and the distant hum of insects. They never overwhelm the silence, they decorate it. A gecko calling in your house might sound like a gentle tap on a door, a reminder that you are sharing your night with another small, peaceful life. When 2 geckos call back and forth, their rhythm resembles a whispering conversation, steady and comforting. To some cultures, Their chirping is a sign of the good fortune, a presence that keeps the night company. Their voices are soft enough not to disturb, but warm enough to be noticed. Like a breeze brushing across a window, or a curtain swaying slightly in the dark, gecko calls give the night a feeling of companionship. They remind us that the world is alive, breathing gently, even when everything else falls still. Across many parts of Asia, the gecko is not just an animal, it is a quiet housemate. It slips into homes without causing trouble, perching on walls and ceilings as if surveying the space with gentle curiosity. To humans, it asks for nothing. No food, no attention, no space of its own. Yet every night it gives something in return. The gecko feeds on mosquitoes, termites, winged ants, and tiny moths, the very creatures that disturb sleep, leave bites, or damage furniture. Without fanfare, it becomes a nighttime guardian, keeping trouble at bay with its soft footsteps and quick, precise tongue. Different cultures have given it affectionate names: thatch sung, tokay, house gecko. In folklore, its arrival is often considered a blessing, a sign that the home is warm and safe enough for gentle creatures to stay. Observing a gecko perched quietly on the wall can feel like watching a small lantern glowing in a dark corner, unobtrusive, yet comforting. Its presence reminds us that not all protection is loud or fierce. Sometimes the best guardians are those who move silently, offering small acts of service without asking for anything. And so the gecko becomes more than an insect eater. It becomes a companion of the night, steady and serene. In its soft, steady way, the gecko carries lessons that fit perfectly into the quiet moments before sleep. It moves slowly, reminding us that not every path requires urgency. It finds warmth in small corners, teaching us that comfort doesn't always come from grand places. Sometimes it's in the gentle glow of a lamp, the weight of a blanket, or the calm of familiar walls. Its tiny size never stops it from surviving storms, predators, and nights full of uncertainty. The gecko shows that strength can be quiet, resilience can be soft, and courage can come in the shape of a creature no larger than a finger. Listening to its faint chirps or watching its patient steps can feel like receiving a whispered message. Breathe, slow down, you're safe here. And now, as you rest with your phone beside your pillow, the night stretches out like a warm, dark curtain. Let your breath match the gentle rhythm of the gecko's steps, light, calm, unhurried. Exhale once more, longer than before, and sleep. Just as a gecko curls into a warm corner of the wall, you too can settle into the softness around you, trusting the night to hold you gently until morning.